Most people fail at painting furniture because they don't know what's actually causing the problem. But it's not your fault. And I'm going to show you exactly what's going wrong. If your painted furniture has chips, scratches, or peels, it's not because you're bad at painting. It's because nobody has taught you the right process. The good news though, once you understand what's causing the problem, you can fix it and finally get a finish that lasts. Here's the truth. It's not about how crafty you are. It's about knowing the right process for the paint that you are using. If you skip proper cleaning or ignore the surface type, your paint can peel, scratch, or just not stick when you're using the wrong paint. I've seen this over and over again. And then boom, chipping city, scratches all over, or other issues come up because we didn't take the steps necessary to prevent them. You don't need to be an expert painter. You just need a system that makes the right steps simple and doable. So why do paint jobs fail and how do we avoid it? I know I have made plenty of mistakes, and thankfully I have learned from most of those mistakes. About 10 years ago, I got some kitchen chairs for really cheap. I painted them with homemade chalk paint, but guess what? I didn't follow through on the steps that I knew that I needed to take, but I just wanted a quick and easy makeover. And instead of finding a paint that would help me get that, I just skipped the proper prep steps. Yes, I cleaned them, probably. I didn't sand, I did not prime for sure. I just painted. And guess what? Now I completely wish that I would have taken a few extra minutes to do the proper steps. So then now, 10 years later, my furniture wouldn't look terrible. Now I'm looking at having to strip down the paint and repaint them because they look terrible. The paint scratches if I rub my fingernail across them. They're constantly chipping. I can't clean them down because then the paint starts rubbing off. All because I didn't use the proper process. So moral of the story, prep matters big time. So tip number 1, clean with more than just water. You need something that's going to cut through grease and grime. I personally use Crud Cutter because it does exactly that. It's a pretty powerful cleaner that cuts through the grease and grime, so I don't have to use a bunch of elbow grease to get rid of that grime. Not only does cleaning help the paint stick, but it also makes your paint look so much better. If there's stickers, if there's grime, if there's grease, if there's tape, because why do kids love to stick tape and stickers all over furniture? And then if there's dirt, you can see the texture of the dirt underneath your paint finish. It looks so much better if you clean off all of that stuff before you get to painting. Plus your paint will stick so much better. Oils and grease repel the paint, and so your paint is going to easily chip off or scratch off if you paint right over grease and grime. Tip number 2, not all paints stick. Yes, paint manufacturers, guess what? They don't tell you the whole truth. Yes, in some cases, their paint can stick to a surface with no prep at all. But that is just not the case with all furniture. Some furniture is super slick. Others, yeah, you could slap on paint and the paint will stick because there is no finish on it whatsoever. And then besides that, they leave out the fact that, oh, there could be bleed through issues if you don't prime, if you don't take care of these other steps. And they're just not telling you the whole story. You either need to use a primer that will help your paint stick, or you need to use a paint that is very well at sticking, that has been tested, tried and true, and not just that the manufacturer or the paint brand is telling you that it can stick to anything. Also, primers don't only help the paint stick. Primers also help prevent a lot of other issues that come up if you just use a paint. For example, they can make the coverage better. So if you have raw wood and finished wood on the same surface that you're painting, and you just slap paint right over all of that surface, guess what? You will be able to tell where there was raw wood and where the finished wood was. The right primer eliminates that issue. It makes it so then it looks like all of it was the same surface. Primers also prevent things like bleed through, stains that come up through the paint, and honestly, you will not get those stains to go away unless you treat them properly with the right primers. So yeah, you can skip primers if you use the right paint, but also trust me on this one. Do not fully believe what the paint companies say. These paints have to be tested and tried in actual normal circumstances for you to be able to see if they actually work like the company is saying that they should, or if you do need to do other steps to help the paint stick or to prevent these other issues. Tip number 3, top coats are not always a good idea. Some paints do need a top coat, while others should not be top coated because you will ruin the paint finish if you do top coat them. Paint types like enamels, alkyd, waterborne paints, not water-based, but waterborne paints should not be top coated. And if you feel the desire to top coat the paint, test it out on like a scrap piece of wood or something before you top coat your painted furniture. I have seen and heard countless examples of people top coating paints that should not be top coated, and they end up with a bubbled or crackled paint finish because they top coated the paint. So please be aware what paint you are using and if it actually does need a top coat or not. This kind of stuff plus more is what I walk you through inside of my course, How to Paint Furniture Like a Boss. Step by step, no fluff, made for beginners or those who are wanting to level up their painting furniture game. I'll link it here and in the description below for you to check out. Now that you know how skipping prep can ruin a furniture makeover, the question is, can you really get away without sanding or priming your furniture if you use the right paint? In the next video, I'm showing you what happened when I tested a popular paint that claims you don't need to do either. And yeah, it was on plastic that is hard to get paint to stick to. Click here to watch it now.